Good morning, and thank you all for attending our video call meeting. I am a representative from our federal government of Canada. As you are likely aware already, TOK Corporations is planning on taking over a large plot of land in an area included in the Alberta tar sands. We have gathered here today to allow a representative of each stakeholding group to voice their opinions in this matter. Before we come to a decision regarding this issue, a representative from our Environmental Canada sector will give an unbiased and factual summary of our current topic of discussion. Go ahead, Aniko. Thank you. If there are no further questions, let us begin with a representative from the oil companies involved with the tar sands.
Hello. I am here representing the owners of all the companies involved in this endeavour. We have discussed it in much detail and our opinion stands as such. We are in full support of all aspects of the further development of the tar sands and the building of the pipelines. This includes the clear-cutting, the mining, the processing, the dam building, etc., because all of them bring us business. As for Canada, already over 150,000 Albertans are employed directly in the oil and gas extraction and mining sectors. Additionally, every dollar that we invest in the oil sands creates $7.50 for the Canadian economy. Also, by 2010, we've already invested $116 billion into the oil sands, and giving that up now would be a mistake. As such, we support the entire project. Thank you very much for taking the time to hear our opinions.
Thank you for your input. Next, we have our representative from the Tar Sands Labour Union. Is this thing on? Thank you for inviting us to partake in this discussion. I'm representing the Alberta Tar Sands Workers Union, and we have arrived at a consensus. We strongly support the continuation of the tar sands processes. Since its implementation, the oil sands have done a great service to the citizens of Alberta. As the representative from the oil companies mentioned, many Albertans depend on the jobs created by the tar sands. Not to mention that much of the funding for public services is paid for with revenue from the tar sands. Since the people in our town began working for the oil sands companies, we have been more prosperous, more content, and far happier than before. We endure hard labor, but if it's necessary to support those that we care about, then the tar sands must continue. What will become of our province without them? How else can we provide for our families? This is too much for me. I can't take this. Okay. Let's have our representative from the First Nations people present next.
Hello. I'm here speaking to you today on behalf of the First Nations bands throughout the region. Following many meetings, we have reached a consensus against the continuation of the tar sands development. The clear-cutting and mining of the forests that we call home, as well as turning our rivers to sludge and tearing up our land to build a pipeline, are absolutely unacceptable. This land to us is sacred. It's belonged to our people for generations and will belong to our people for generations to come. If there's a way for you to access the oil without destroying the land, then we will reconsider. But as it stands now, we cannot support the project. Thank you very much for listening to our opinions.
Thank you very much. And finally, we have our representative from the Greenpeace International and Canadian Youth Climate Coalition.
Hello, I'm here as a representative of the Canadian Youth Climate Coalition and Greenpeace International. Both of these organizations are firmly against the development of the Alberta tar sands. Firstly, the clear cutting of the Alberta's old-growth forests would eliminate the vast areas of endangered wildlife habitat. Now, the actual processing of the tar sands is the dirtiest existing oil refining process in the world, emitting 3 to 4 times more CO2 than traditional extraction. If that's not enough environmental damage, there is the vast amount of fresh water that is used to process the tar sands, and which is then released back into the environment in the form of toxic sludge. 11 million liters of naphthenic acid are going directly into our drinking water daily. I think I've made our stance clear that environmental organizations are completely against the development of tar sands. Thank you.
Thank you all for taking the time to represent your respective groups in this meeting. We will take your perspectives into serious consideration. Please have a good day. Meeting adjourned.